you, thank you. Can raise one, very good. Wrong or correct or wrong, doesn't matter. Okay, as long as you try. All right. For now, the important spirit is you try. At least you can try and you dare to try. Okay. Now, whether you get all these answers or not doesn't matter for now. Okay. Just make sure you try. If you get it, that's a bonus. If you didn't get it, at least you learn something out of it as well. Okay. So I'm going to go through very soon. So those of you who haven't done, I'm very sorry. We don't have time for you to do right now. Okay. I want to go through quickly, but first of all, I think it's a good time for us to do a quick recap of what we have learned on certs, right? Because I think some of you, most of you have learned in school, which is good. Some of you are complete new. Who are the complete newbie? Yeah, I know. Remember, only 1 or 2 friends are complete newbie, right? So, yep. So last week I was quite worried for Jinghen, but I think he did quite well. All right. So, the rules are quite simple. Like I told you, there are only a couple of rules when it comes to certs, correct? Which is quite simple to understand, right? You multiply. Let me see. Okay, so literally there are only a few rules. Number 1 is, of course, this thing called root A times root A gives you back the A, okay? And of course, root A times root B, that gives you root AB, and then that sort of stuff as well, okay? So we talk about that, we practice that, okay? We practice how to factorize out numbers, okay? And then eventually, before we left, we talk about rationalization. I hope you recall. All right, so rationalization, the idea is to get rid of the certs. All right, and how we get rid of the certs, there are 2 types. One type is this, which we have to multiply by the conjugate partner, right? The conjugate partner, so that this a squared minus b squared will work is magic. Okay, so we discuss what is conjugate. Remember, some people got the wrong idea that the conjugate is the negative, or the negative sign become positive sign, right? We talk about that. It's not like that, okay? It's really just the middle sign that is different. Okay, so we had a few rehearsals, right? Run through last week, okay? And then I show you the magic, right? The magic happens automatically when you have conjugate pairs, which means at the end of the day, it becomes not cert, all right? Which is the whole idea of rationalization. Okay, so I also explained, I tried to make you understand why we need to rationalize. Okay, so it's all in the notes anyway lah. So the reason doesn't so matter so much, but more importantly is the how, right? So the rule is that we cannot have denominator to have a cert. So that's the rule. Okay, whether you understand, you accept, don't accept, that's the rule. Okay, right. So the rule is that you cannot leave your denominator to have a cert. So we need to get rid of it. So in order to get rid of the denominator cert, the cert in the denominator, we multiply by the conjugate partner of the denominator, which is why we need to talk about rationalization. So this is one example of it. Okay, and you can see the magic happening. It becomes 5 minus 3, which is awesome because 5 minus 3 is just 2. Nice number. Okay, so this is the process of rationalization. Now, of course, sometimes your denominator not so complicated, right? Your denominator is only got 1 cert. And this is actually easier because you don't even need to have the conjugate pair anymore, right? You just multiply by the same thing and then you will disappear. Okay, so we were busy talking about this, and then that was the explanation of why do we need to rationalize and whatnot. Okay, and then we ran out of time. Okay, so I said, look, I showed you some examples already, and we ran out of time to do it on the spot. Then we had to tapao lah. Okay, so there we are, and now this is where we continue. Okay, let's start to do our homework, or at least go through our homework. Okay, so those of you who got do, thank you very much. Those of you haven't got chance to do, I wanted to say it's okay, but it's not so okay lah. All right, going forward, you really have to put in some effort. Okay, you want to get A1, you need to put in the time. Yeah. Okay, so I will go through now. All right, pick up whatever lessons you have to pick up. Anything you need to ask, you ask. Please don't be shy. Come, let's run through. Simplify each of them without using calculator. Okay, without using calculator means doesn't mean you cannot touch your calculator lah. But anyway, I'll show you what I mean. All right. 12 over root 3. So you need to rationalize. You multiply by root 3 to the top and to the bottom. At the bottom, it becomes 3. At the top, it becomes 12 root 3. Okay, 12 divided by 3 is 4. So answer is 4 root 3. Rather simple. Okay, so I don't think it's very difficult. Okay, in fact, cert is quite enjoyable one. this chapter is quite enjoyable because very little thing to learn. And the thing that you are trying to do is quite systematic. But it's just a matter of very easily careless. So if you're like me, very easy to get careless kind of person, then you may not like it. When I was young, I don't like it because I always get wrong, even though I know, right? Anyway, so let's try. 4 minus root 5, that's my the conjugate. Okay, so I need to rationalize. Now, always settle the denominator first because the denominator is much, much easier. All right, the denominator will then become 16. Why 16? Because it's 4 squared. Okay, and then it will be minus 5. Okay, the magic is, okay, try to see that happening in your head. A plus B times A minus B. That's the whole idea. All right, and that's why we end up with A squared, which is y4 squared minus B squared. Okay, so A squared minus B squared. So that's the whole idea of rationalization. Okay, now then what happens next is you multiply in. Okay, so 22 times 4, that's 88 minus 22 root 5. Okay, whether you want to multiply in straight away or not, actually don't multiply in first. I just realized. Okay, so you may want to just write out the bracket like this because downstairs you have 11. Upstairs you got 22. So much nicer, isn't it? Like 22 divided by 11, that's 2, right? Okay, then at least don't deal with the 88 and all, then later you still got to divide. So 无聊, right? Sometimes you have to multiply in and then you factorize out and do double work. Okay, clear? Not very difficult, Okay, come, let's move on to part C. Yes. Yeah. Answer says 8 minus 2 root 5. Okay, yeah, you're right. It looks a bit different. But is it wrong? No, it's not wrong, Okay, good. Yeah, so you multiply in only. Can? So okay. So it's still okay. Yeah, but good point. We always check answer just to make sure that we are perfect. But that's okay. That's a small thing. All right, next move on. Let's see. C is 5 over this rubbish. Now, this rubbish is a bit more intimidating. But if your concept is clear, the conjugate then becomes 2 root 6 plus 3. Okay, so this was what we were doing at the tail end of last week. And there's the conjugate partner. Recognize who is the partner. Recognize who is it, identify who is it. Then there's an A minus B, there's an A plus B there, right? So the denominator, okay, now in your head, sometimes this can be a bit more complicated. And this is also the part that people die, that sounds wrong. People get careless, okay? The answer is actually 4 times 6. 4 times 6 is 24. Now, here comes the thing. Some people cannot get 24. Some people blur. Some people get a different number. Okay, so what I'm trying to make you see is this. This is what is supposed to happen. That's your A squared minus B squared. Okay, the B squared, that one is just 9, not very exciting. Agree, Okay, the 9. This one is the one that I need you to train your head to see. All right, because you don't want to be writing like that. Okay, this make you look noob. Understand? I told you before, you all come here, the purpose is to train yourself to be elite, understand? Okay, next year you are elite already, you cannot be like normal student. Okay, so elite means you must look, behave, and act like an elite. Okay, so what is going on inside here? You're going to get a 4, and you better be able to see how, because of the 2 square. Then you're going to get a 6, you better be able to see how, because of the square root 6, then you square. Clear? Okay, what I'm trying to train you is to have this visual in your head. Okay? One eye only. Sorry, one more time. Okay, 2 eyes, yeah. Okay? So in your head, try. Hey, hello, Mr. Evan. 怎么办? You last night watch football? Got football, man. You very tired, Okay, relax, relax. Okay. Drink coffee. No, you're too young. I cannot drink coffee. Not good for your health. Okay. Anyway, if you need to stand, you stand. Like me, I need to stand, sit. I told you, right? See, now I can't even wear long pants. Because I got limited. Okay, see that 4 and 6. That's important. Okay, you have a lot of chance later to try thinking in your head. All right. What I hope not to see is this on your working. Okay, because I'm hoping you, okay, eventually, maybe not now, but eventually, you'll be able to tell me it's 24. Can 1, with training can 1. Understand? But if I don't train you like that, forever you'll be just like that, slow, you have 3 more steps compared to everyone else. Understand? So you want to be able to be cool when you have your working. Okay, so 24, anyway, answer is 24 very simple. Okay. Clear? All right, try to be able to see, visualize where the 24 come from, where the 9 come from. I mean, the 9 is obvious. Okay, then we have this. Now, this 24 minus 9 is very difficult. I also don't know, so we use calculator. Hey, sure, they say cannot use calculator. Don't worry, nobody will know. 15. That's what I meant by they say without using calculator doesn't mean you cannot touch your calculator. Understand? Nobody will know one. Right, so anyway, that's 15 downstairs. Okay, so this is 15. This is 5. 5 over 15 sounds like it's 1/3, isn't it? Okay, so you have a 3. And then you have this. And we are done. All right, whether you want to simplify, I want to leave it like that, which is fine, because as long as the denominator got no certs, you are safe. Okay, you won't get penalized. Or you want to leave the answer like, answer is like that. Okay, so some of the answers are a bit different. They will look like this. Same, okay, same, so don't be overly stressed. You should look different. It's okay, they're the same person. Okay, any questions? Come on, quick. You got question, must ask. All right, then we move on already. Okay, now part D is the slightly more interesting one. Because part D, you see the arrangement, to know whether you see or not. Okay, 好了, copy first. Okay, wait, A, B, C, all clear. Seems like nobody got any question to ask. Who got A, B, C, all correct one, raise hand. Nice, thank you. See, complete newbie also can do. Awesome, very good, well done. D, right? I want to talk about D a little bit. Okay, now, of course, there are a couple of ways you can do D. One of the ways is blur do lor. Sure, I don't understand. You go rationalize this, then you go rationalize this, then you go combine them. That will work. Okay. However, you see, I want you to be slightly more alert in the sense that, look, this is 4 minus rubbish. This is rubbish plus 4. They are the same thing. Agree? But so what if they're the same thing, but they're not quite the same? You see, the thing is that you need to be alert to the fact that addition is commutative, right? 2 plus 3 and 3 plus 2, they are the same. So if you cannot see, okay, I wanted to say if you cannot see something is wrong, you're blind. But no, what I mean is if you cannot see that, you may want this step may be helpful. So you can see that if I rearrange the three root 3 plus 4 into 4 plus 3 root 3, I hope it becomes more obvious what I'm trying to nag at you. You can see that? Yeah? These are already conjugate pairs. Okay, now conjugate pairs already, then say, I don't understand what's the point, right? What's the big deal about it? Pay attention. When you were in Sec 2, I believe you learned this kind of rubbish that is called, yeah, okay? In fact, not Sec 2, this concept comes from primary school one. Okay, but Sec 2 we learn more because Sec 2 it was all A, B, C, X, Y, Z, right? More X, Y, Z. Primary school is all number. Anyway, the point is, all of you are expert This is called common denominator, correct? Okay, everybody should know one. Okay, like I said, this concept comes from primary school. All right, primary school that time it was numbers, so you times D, right? Then this one times B, then your common denominator. All right, but in Sec 2 last year, you all don't do this anymore. You just don't care. You just take this times this, then the denominator each other, right? Something like that. Anyway, I'm not teaching you Sec 2 stuff. You are good. Okay, what I think is important is to see that you have that in your head already. And you can understand that when you have two fractions, and then you want to combine them together, more often than not, the denominator, or if you like, the common denominator is always the product. Most of the time it's the product because most of the time the product will be the LCM. Most of the time, but of course not all the time. Okay, all right. So there you go, right? That's the idea. And if you look at what you have, all right, you should be cool enough to say, hey, the denominator, or if you like, the common denominator is actually the conjugate pair multiplied together, right? So you rationalize them, right? So it's actually 16 minus 9 times 3, 27. Practice, come on. Okay, practice. Now this one a bit more busy, a lot more things going on in your head. Okay, you notice how I write down only 16 and write down only 27. I never write down so many things. Okay, so think about where all this rubbish number come from. Okay, number one, recognizing that the LCM, sorry, the common denominator at the end will be the rationalization effort. Recognize that first. Hey, there, orange color. Okay. So once you recognize that, you understand that, oh, the denominator will be the a square minus b square nonsense, right? Then you must identify who is the a square. That's 4 square. And the b square. The b square is the one that I hope you can think in your head. Come on. There's going to be a 9, right? And there's going to be a 3. Yeah, that's what I meant. Okay. So try to achieve all that. Okay. We have more chance for you to practice later. But you must start. Okay, because otherwise you keep taking baby steps, then forever you'll behave and walk like baby. All right. So you want to be able to jump into this kind of step. Okay, anyway, 16 minus 27. Oh my God, that's also very difficult. So we just use calculator. This kind of thing, don't waste your brain juice. Minus 11. See, lucky I checked because I also don't know. All right, so minus 11. Then up here, or just simplify lah. This is not very exciting. So we do fast. Chop chop. Okay, so because it's not very exciting stuff, then we just brush it through faster. Some more. What is 20 plus 28? That sounds like 48. And then 20, that sounds like 6. Okay. And then there's a minus 11 downstairs. So you can leave your answer like that. This is already correct. Sometimes some people don't like the negative. So what they did was they will bring the negative up. Okay. And then it becomes positive minus this over positive 11. Now, this is also fine. They are the same. Okay, it's just a matter of arrangement. I don't know how the answer look like. Let me check first. 6 root 3 minus for that version, the orange color version. Okay, all right. Who got this correct, raise hand? Nice. All right, those of you didn't get correct, now please check what went wrong. Okay, I suspect. I haven't checked, but I suspect. All right, it depends. Okay, because this question easily go wrong. Now you understand why. The things that we are doing is not much different from ABC. If you can do ABC, there's no reason you cannot do D, correct? But some of you can do ABC but cannot get D answer, right? What happened? Careless. Confirm. Why careless? You got more things to do. Like I told you, some people will rationalize 1, rationalize 2. The more you rationalize, the more chance you're going to make a mistake. Okay, follow? Therefore, you probably, that plus become minus, or one number wrong, everything is messed up. Very irritating one for certs, okay? So which is why some of this, a little bit of shortcut here and there, recognizing, seeing things faster, all this will help. Okay, all right, to make your entire effort a little bit safer. Okay, any more questions regarding this piece of homework? Now, if you didn't get it right and if you think you can afford the time, please by all means go and try again. All right, I usually don't expect my students to go and do correction and hand in and whatnot. Understand? I'm not a school teacher. Okay, school teacher very particular about all this kind of thing. Understand? But correction to me, unless you want to try again to see if you can do it again, that's all. Understand? Otherwise, no point asking to do the same question again for what? Okay? Or worse, just to copy my working and then hand it to me for what? All right, it serves no purpose. Okay, this one. You're supposed to find in this form. So in other words, trash this into this. Okay, go and mold it, massage it, okay, squash it so it all become like this. That's the job. Okay, all right. Who did this and get correct one? Raise hand. Let me see. Answer is 16 minus 10. Who got correct? 1 hand, 2 hands, 3 hands. The rest is either haven't do or got it wrong lah. Okay. Oh, 4 hands. Okay, good. Right. So never mind. If you haven't do, then you learn how to do. If you have done and you get it wrong, you also learn something. So pay attention now. What is going on? Like I told you, this is the raw nonsense, and we're supposed to make it into this. Okay. So pretty obvious. There are a few things we can do immediately. Number one, we can expand. Confirm can't go wrong one, right? You have to expand because you need to get rid of the square. Second, you need to rationalize. Also, confirm can't go wrong because you don't have any fractions here. Okay, so you must know that is your end destination. Okay, and this is where we are now. A bit like driving like that. This is where you are, that's my destination. How we get there? I must get rid of this, I must get rid of that, and hopefully I'm getting nearer. Cool? Okay, good. Like, let's try. So I expand off 16 minus away 8 root 6 plus 6. Okay, now this one. Also, some people will start to get wrong. Okay, and that some people last time when I was Sec 3 that some people was me simple thing also can get wrong one because I careless. All right, so from experience, I'm telling you how careless people can be careless. Then hopefully you don't be as careless as me. Okay, so a squared minus 2ab plus b squared. 这个 is always, but anyway. Then this one is rationalized. All right, some people are very gung-ho one, they can do all this in one line. Up to you. Okay, I leave it to you. All right, 16 plus 6, that's 22. Okay, to be honest, this one really not much to do anymore. Here, you get a 9 minus 6. Okay, so this is the important part. All right, 9 minus 6. Please be able to see where the 9 come from, where the 6 come from. Okay, are you able to get a 9 and a 6? 6 times 3, that's 18 plus 6 root 6. Okay, all right, now also think first, don't be so hasty. This is 3, this is 3, this is 3. Okay, no, it's all multiple of 3. Can simplify further. So we end up with 22 minus 8 root 6 minus bracket better because this one minus, be careful. All right, because there's a minus here and there's a sign here. You have to be careful because it's very easy to go wrong. So put in the bracket a bit. That will save your marks. Brackets are free, so it's okay. Right, 18 divided by 3, that's going to give you a 6. 6 divided by 3, that's going to give you a 2. I suspect some of you may be here that you start to go wrong because if you don't put the bracket, you are wrong already. Understand, right? Just the bracket missing, you are wrong already, no? So put the bracket. I know some of you very clever one. You can don't put the bracket and then you put the minus. But this kind you are taking a risk. You have to judge for yourself. Whether you are always very okay or sometimes okay, sometimes not okay. Understand? So some people can. Some people tend to be more careless. Then I prefer you to be more careful. Okay, like I always say, it's good to do fast, but no point do until so fast and all get wrong. Okay, anyway, wait, is this 22 minus 6? Very hard, 16, right? Then minus 10 root 6. Okay, now this format looks like that format, right? Yes. All right, so it sounds like A is equal to 16 and B is equal to minus 10. Okay, who lost? Okay, I don't think you are lost like, I don't know what the heck you're doing, man. I don't think so. Okay, I think you know what I'm doing. All right, again, some of you tried, didn't get it right. Now you know why. If you still don't know why, you say, I put in 5 minutes to do this last week, but I still get wrong. And I look at your working, I still don't know why I go wrong. Please ask. Okay, I check for you. All right, you must know what you did wrong so you avoid again. Clear? Okay, any questions? Quick. All right, don't have sounds good. Come, let's move along. One last question from our homework. Wow, this one looks scary, sir. Okay, it's okay. All right, there are worse coming up, as in look more scary ones. Okay, so also depend on what kind of school you come from. For some school, this kind of scary thing is normal. All right. Okay. Same job to some extent, like you are supposed to make this to look like that, blah blah blah, and your job is to figure out what's H and what's K. Who did and get this correct also? Raise hand. OMG, this kind of answer. Who got correct one? Wow. Very good, No. Okay, less hands. All right, maybe more tired already also by the time up to question 3 all ponchek already. The engine cannot move. Okay, despite your best effort, you cannot. I faint. Okay, anyway, come, let's try. Don't worry, let's try together. Okay, what's our job? Find H, find K. How to find H, find K? Well, of course, the idea is, look guys, this is the same as this. Okay, I don't know why they are the same, but the question says so, right? Okay, so we're supposed to make this look like this format, then can compare. If you think about it, it's a bit like just now that question 2. Make this look like this, then you can compare. Then you can check. A is what, B is what, right? It's the same concept. Totally the same idea, or if you like, same kind of question, right? The only difference is that it looks really quite bad lah. Okay. Now then, what do we do? Right? It look like this leh. 怎么办? Okay. The most I think worrying sign is this. Yeah. You have a square root in a square root, and I think it is quite scary. Okay, so in this kind of situation in exam, when you really don't know because it's brand new kind of question, never seen in your whole life, what you want to do is you want to ask yourself, what can you do that is confirm correct? Understand? Confirm correct one. You know that you can't go wrong if you do this, right? And that is expand on. Correct? I mean, the one you can't go wrong, right? So expand on. So I say, okay, I really don't know how to find H. I also don't know how to find K because I really don't know what to do with the square root nonsense. But I think I can expand. This is what I meant by trying. Understand? And I like to say this, which some teachers may not agree. And that's, if you don't know how to do, you at least anyhow do. Understand? If you don't know how to do, you leave blank, you are guaranteed 0. Correct? Anyhow do like that lah. Anyhow lah, you do something. Okay, anyhow means you do something correct. Understand? But not anyhow like do rubbish lah. And then you still get 0. Okay, anyway, 9 plus 5, that's 14. Okay, this is also confirmed correct, all right? Okay, and then this is all these are common factor 2. Yeah, I think we can simplify a bit. Okay, you don't ask me why I want to simplify. I also don't know, right? I just know that I can't be wrong. If I simplify, I can't be wrong, right? Okay, so I end up here. The left hand side is still the same rubbish because I don't know what to do with the left hand side. Okay, I only know I can do something to my right hand side. Okay, if you do until like that, if this question will be 3-mark question or 4-mark question, right? Your teacher may be kind enough to give you at least 1 mark. But trust me, if you do rationalization, you guarantee 1 more mark. Agree? Because part of the whole chapter that you learn is this idea called rationalization. So I don't know why I must rationalize because I couldn't see the link so I still do lor. Okay, so you see, sometimes in math you just have to get started. And then one thing leads to another. So I rationalize. Again, you ask me, Cher, why do you rationalize? I say, I really can't tell why yet. I also don't know why, but I know it's correct. Okay, so I'm going to get 49 because of the 7 times 7. I'm going to get a minus, yeah, and then there's a 9 times 5. That's going to be a 45. Okay, the important thing to check with yourself, the important thing to imagine in your head is, are you able to get the 45 number? Yeah, if you can, I think that's pretty awesome. If you cannot, take some time to look at that. Okay, that's important. All right, then times in the 2 or not, that one I leave it to you lah. So just now we try a few times. Maybe you leave it outside first. Okay, so I get this rubbish. Okay, no space. Never mind. Here you can screw up. Okay. Then now what? Simplify further lor. 49 minus 45, that's a 4. Right? And 4 and 2, well, that's going to be 7 over 2. Okay. Now we are now here. Okay. Can we start to compare? Obviously, no. Why no? Because they're not in the same format. Okay. But at least we have some good news. Okay. Some more good news. Well, the good news is, you see that? Yeah lah, at least you have that lah. Imagine question here is root 5, then you got root 13 here, confirm something wrong. Very wrong. Agree? So at least this is the good news, right? But now the bad news is, okay, Cher, I run out of ideas already. Okay, to be fair, if you do until here, probably get 1-2 marks. You're not knowing also get 1-2 marks, also not bad. Go to the next question in exam. Okay. Anyway, we cannot be like that. We are elitist, right? We are elite, we don't get full marks on. Okay, so how to get H and K? Now you understand that to get H and K, or to figure out H and K, the most irritating thing, or the biggest obstacle is this. And in order to get rid of this obstacle, which is the square root sign, and bear in mind, this is an equation. An equation means got left side, got right side, like a seesaw, there's balance. So if you want to get rid of the square root sign, you square both sides. Okay, as long as you square both sides, the seesaw is still balanced. Right? And the equation still makes sense. But this will do the magic trick of getting rid of the big square root sign on the left. And on the right, yes, it does become very complicated. Okay, not very complicated, but it does become more complicated, and it sounds like bad news because you obviously have more things to do lah. Okay, the square up there and the 2 square become 4 down there. Okay, but at this point in time, you should have the confidence that you are almost done. Almost done because you just have to simplify the right side, which involve expanding and then separating the root 5 with the non-root 5, and then you can find the h and the k. Okay? Those of you haven't done one, that means you stuck somewhere. Like, do together. Come on, I don't like you all to just come here copy my work. Okay? Do. Start. Do. Maybe you tried, but then you go, yeah, this part I didn't do, or this part I did wrong. Do together. Come. I take a sip of water first. So you got a head start of a few seconds. Okay? Even though I catch up with you. And don't just sit down there copy my answer. Okay, let's do together. This is very difficult. What kind of rubbish number is this? 49 plus 45. This kind I need calculator. Very embarrassing. 94. Okay, 94 divided by 4. Okay, hold on. Okay, I put down 94 first. Okay. 2-3 steps only. All right. Now there are a few things that you try to check. I mean, you spend a few seconds trying on your own, right? Did you get this expansion correct? That's the important one. Because if you expand wrong, then die already lah. Okay, forget it. Okay. So if you expand wrongly, then what part wrong? A square, 2ab, b square. Which one you messed up? Chances are very high that it's the 45 lah. No, other than that, it's unlikely to get so confusing. It's just a square, 2ab, b square, right? So the 45 will be the thing that you should check. Do you get 45? Once you get the numerator expanded correctly, it's just a matter of calculating all. So nothing too spectacular already. Okay, all right. So I think we started the day talking about homework and at the same time warm up ourselves a bit. Okay, but these are all old stuff. Yeah, I haven't learned anything new for today yet. Are we all good? Can? Now I think we are ready. Engine also start and warm up already. Okay, right. So this is a very short topic called certs, all right? And short because everything that you need to learn, I already more or less taught you concept-wise and all, right? I just need to show you the different types of situation that we find ourselves in right now, which is one of which is called solving equations involving certs. And then later on, we'll do one more type that is equation involving cert that had to square both sides. Then we are done already. Okay. So concept has been taught to you. Now it's just a matter of polishing it to show you all the different types of possible rubbish question that you will see in exam. Okay, come. First one, example 5. You know where is it? It's on the notes. I know you got notes already. It's on page 9. Don't need to copy anything. But what is more important is you please pay attention. All right, now equations, as we already know by now, must have an equal sign. All right, and there's a left side, there's a right side. Okay, and when you say solving equation, all right, means you're usually trying to solve for the unknown. And more often than not, the unknown is x. In other words, if I give you an equation, this is an equation. And I say, guys, solve the equation, means you find x. Okay, now that is simple. I say, that's rubbish. You know, it's so easy. You take him for what? Okay, pay attention. So this is the equation now. Your job is to solve it. And the question actually quite nice. They tell you that the solution look like this. Okay. Oh, okay. Not very encouraging, but okay, that's the solution. That's X. So at the end of the day, X look like this. And you're supposed to find P, find Q. All right. So in short, you just have to find X. Okay. So how do we find X? Now pay attention, not very difficult. Like the way you learn in your last year or whatever. Okay. Make X a subject means you throw everything to one side. Okay. Take out the X. Okay. And then make X a subject. These are all Sec 2 stuff. Okay. And if you ask me, you already solve X. This is X. This is the answer. Okay. Yeah. But you won't get full marks one. Okay, you won't get full marks for 2 reasons. Number 1, this is not rationalized. You didn't follow the rule. Okay, must rationalize. Number 2, it didn't look like this. So you still don't know what is P and Q. Understand? So yes, this part, or if you like, the blue color part is the same as what you've been doing and learning in Sec 2. Okay, just make X a subject, nothing special. Right? The third part, which is the simplifying and trying to get to the answer and get full marks, therefore, this is the part that is a bit new. Okay, so let's do the hard part, or at least the part that is a bit new. We obviously need to rationalize. How you want to rationalize this is up to you. Some people can see that this is 2√3 instead of 12. But if you can handle 12, that's okay lah. Nothing special about 12 or nothing special about 2√3. They are the same. Okay, so you can see 8 as 2√3. Some people like smaller number. 2 and 3 is smaller than 12. So fair enough. Okay, but is your style? I will say that sometimes it is helpful, sometimes not that particularly helpful. Okay, so in this case, I'll leave it lah. And I'll rationalize. Okay, sorry, wrong partner, is it? Partner is plus. All right, so the denominator will be 12 minus 7. So at least to me, I think this is much faster than to have this and then start thinking about 4 and 3 and you get what I mean? So make your life harder. What's the point? All right. So 12 minus 7 straightforward. Okay, upstairs. Upstairs is the headache. So pay attention. Okay, downstairs you have 5 already, which is fantastic news if you ask me. That's the answer, or at least that's how it looks like. All you need to do is to solve the top. Now the top turns out to be there's a third leftover somehow, but there's a whole number. I don't know how they got the whole number. So no choice lah. You multiply in 3 times 6 is 30. 3 times 12 is 36. Oh, that's where the 6 come from. And this is 21. Okay. So it's 6. Aha. Knew it. Okay. So 2 parts to this question. The first part, make X a subject, blue color. You can't complain. Okay, you can't complain. It's hard, but the blue part, the purple color part, you also can't complain because we've been training to do that. Understand? Rationalizing, simplifying, or whatnot. Okay. All right. So all together, come together, you have equations like this. All right. And the question have a different feel to it when it appears like this. Understand? And some people, just by different packaging, they mess up one. Same thing to do, but the different packaging only they mess up. Okay. Now we try. Come. Important to start to feel that you are doing well in school, so that you feel confident, and at least you feel that look, my effort is paying off. Then it's a bit more morale boosting lah. Otherwise, very tough, right? You work so hard, then the test always come out, the result not so good. Okay, so that's not good for morale. You see how? Because what I'm planning to do with the graduating classes, which is the Sec 4s and the JC2s, is to have our own mid-year exam. They need lah, because they're graduating class, they're going for the major exam. For you guys, we see how lah. I don't think we need, but like I say, update me when you have a test coming or what. Okay. Anyway, guys, this is my X. Okay, so shouldn't be too hard to get to here. Okay, this is the X, this is the answer. And if you think that you are correct, yes, you are, but you won't get full marks, okay? And the reason you don't get full marks because you broke two rules, right? The first rule is you didn't rationalize the denominator, that is already gone. Second is that it doesn't look like this, and therefore you don't know what's P and Q. So we have a bit more to go. How you want to do this, I leave it to you. There are many different, not many, a few different approaches. But for me, I'm simple-minded. So I would just think, yeah, I need to rationalize, right? And then rationalize. Okay, now some people, they're very fanciful one. They will think of this as 2 root 2, which is true. It is 2 root 2. Okay, but is there a need? Is it helpful? Up to you to decide. Okay, but for me, I see it's 8 minus 6, straightforward. Okay, I prefer it to look like this. Since I'm going to rationalize it, no point beautifying it. The numerator is going to be root 16 plus root 12. Okay, can tell? All right, in case you lost, you don't know where the root 16 come from, it come from here. And the root 12 come from here. This was one of the laws that we learned last week. All right, then of course 8 minus 6, that's a 2 at the bottom. Not very hard to imagine. Root 16 is a 4. 4 and 2. 4 divided by 2 can be divided, yes. Now 12 is not a prime number, so we can break this down further. 4 times 3. In case you lost again, let me show you the chain, like food chain like that. Okay. I write in pencil because my hope is that you can do this in your head. Okay, so this one should be the thought process in your head, don't write it down. Okay, don't write it down, force you to think harder. You train your brain better. And otherwise, you hold it on right now, your brain becomes slow. Okay, so use your brain. Okay, we're done. Got it, right? Yes. Okay, come, move on. 加油. Next one. This is typical of exam question, test question. I think you know, right? If you have went through this in school, you know. Like problem sum like this. Okay, they give you a story. You're supposed to form the equation, then solve for it. So you have one more layer of danger, and that is if you form the equation wrongly, then of course everything is wrong. Previous question was quite straightforward because they actually write down the equation for you. This one, you have to form the equation yourself. All right, so I give you about 1-2 minutes to form the equation, then I will show you the equation. Okay. All right, like I said, this equation is too easy to get wrong. All right, if you get wrong, it is, like I said, you're probably operating half asleep now. Okay, area of rectangle near, understand? So the length and then the breadth, right? So quite simple in a sense. So like what Jing Hen did was very awesome. I mean, you can draw. I saw some of you try to visualize, which is a good idea. For more complicated question, why not? Or if you think you are easily careless, then yes, you should. The breadth be X. So length and breadth is equal to this. So you know you can't go wrong. Okay, and therefore the X that you're looking for is this. Okay, so if you think you found, if you think that you formed the correct equation, this is the correct equation, right? And make X a subject, that's the correct X also. Now your job is to find X, right? And try to get to the form and find A, find B, and that sort of stuff. Okay, so I would say this is the easy start. Yeah, so it's important to make you feel that you're in control. All right, so 25 minus 3. Okay, upstairs. What kind of rubbish answer is this, right? I see also, I feel like I'm wrong already. Okay, it's true. 19 over 11. Okay. Oh, so the answer doesn't look very promising lah. But I think we are correct means we are correct lah. Okay, it's just ugly number only. Okay. Okay, what is there to check? I would say that one of the flashpoint that people tend to get wrong is this number. Okay, this number get wrong, so be careful. All right, this is the part that you want to check. The rest will be okay. I believe it's quite careful. I mean, you're careful, you're okay. The last one is the one that is more likely to get wrong. Okay, any questions? Quick. Area or rectangle, you tell me you don't know something is very, very wrong as well. Okay, no further question. Come, let's move on to question 3. Cuboid now become 3D. So 3-dimensional figure doesn't make the job a lot harder. Okay, it's the same because the formula is something you learned in primary school. Okay, so just be careful, read carefully. A cuboid is a box, right? Square base, draw something that looks like a square for the base. Okay, square means they are the same. Each length is called 2 plus √3. Okay, and then of course, something like that. Okay. Yeah, Sec 3 this year, right? This year you're going to learn quite a lot of 3D nonsense in your E-math as well. You have 3D trigo. So you're going to start to have this kind of visualization exercise. Questions will be a bit more interesting. How to find the angle. All right. Anyway, coming soon. But okay, this is not so 3D-ish. All right. It's not so hard, to be honest. All right. The height, you can call it H if you like. If you call it X, that'll be fine. Okay. So there you go. That's the base and the length and base and height. Right. So primary school you learned before, I think. So base area times height is equal to volume. Okay. Okay, so this is the equation that you ought to be forming up. You're supposed to form this equation, then try to solve it. Right? If the equation is wrong, then no need to solve anymore, right? So forming the wrong equation, you get the wrong answer one. So it's but you get the idea? Length times breadth times height. Okay? So you cannot say you don't know. Some people are a bit messed up because the box you have a different image. I don't know why you can get a different image. People say square. Okay, square base. It's a square base, the same, right? So what went wrong? Okay. Anyway, we're looking for H. Oh, and this is H. And if you wrote this, thank you very much. You are already correct. Okay. But out of the 3 marks, you probably get 1. If this were to be a 3-mark question, you get 1 only. If you are lucky, some teacher don't even give you any mark. Okay, because you haven't done anything to do with certs, you haven't expand, you haven't rationalized. There's no cert mark to give you at all. You're just doing primary school thing. Okay, so primary school thing won't give you any marks on. So it depends. Okay, depends on how many marks you are. Anyway, let's cut the grandfather story short and let's do the work. This expansion will at least give you 1 mark. Okay, because at least you do something that is a bit more secondary schoolish. All right, and definitely we need to rationalize. So then that will make you even more secondary schoolish. Okay, or in fact make you A maths. Otherwise, you are not even in A math territory yet. Okay, sorry, my line draw until a bit too near, no space. Okay, can. So that's the conjugate partner. Okay, like that safer, safer to see. Yeah. Okay, denominator first. Denominator will be 49, 7, 49. 16 times 3, I don't know what is that. I just write it down first. You know where the 16 come from? Important. You know where the 3 come from? That's also important. Okay. So that's why you think about it that way. Okay, next one. Be careful because this one is got 4 terms. Like that, like that. This one. Okay. Then be careful, only. Right? You have been training since last year, and this year you're still doing the same thing. Can you believe it or not? How much of your life is spent doing this kind of thing? But you see, Let's think about math, right? You don't just learn, you have to do. Okay, and you do a lot of time so that you can perfect it. A bit like baking. 15 times 4 is what? 60, right? Okay. 6 times 4, 6 times 7. Minus, oh God, 6 times 4, 24. Times 3. Okay, so quite a few things to check. All right. What you want to check is this number. This number is the highly likely something wrong one. This number as well. Okay. Check. All right. This is where people tend to get careless and tend to get the numbers and therefore everything wrong. The concept they know. You tell them rationalization, they know, right? Everything they know, but they just can't get those numbers. And that is how things start to get messed up. All right. Anyway, if you got all the numbers, then the rest will be easy peasy. You tell me you don't know, from here on, something is very, very wrong. Huh? 1. Okay, so the denominator is 1. Basically gone. No more denominator. I don't know about you. I feel quite happy with that. All right. Numerator. Numbers are 105 minus 24 times 3. That is 33. Minus 60 plus 42. That sounds like 1818. Oh, doesn't look right, huh? Answer. Oh, lucky, correct. Okay, one tip to teach you, in case in exam, right? And then you are, sure, I got this answer, but I don't know whether correct or not. How you check, a bit of common sense checking is to go and press calculator. Okay, press calculator. And make sure that this number is at least positive. Because if this number is negative, don't need to think you are confirmed wrong. Agree? How can height be negative? 对不对? So one way to check, like at least okay at least 你放心一点. And then like okay, I think I didn't do any mistake. I think I'm correct. Okay? But let's say you are very confident, everything you think you're correct, but the number is negative. Confirm wrong one. All right. So in exam, that's one way you can troubleshoot and check for yourself. Any questions?